Okay, can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's perfect. So welcome to lesson 68, and this lesson should be recording. Is it recording from your side, guys?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So as I mentioned earlier, we are going to be unpacking brand identity and success factors for brand sites. So when we talk about brand sites, we are talking about all the digital assets that a brand possesses. So this can be a website, this can be a newsletter database, this can be social media platforms, this can be mobile applications, the apps that you have on your phone. So what would be the success factors for a brand site? Any platform that is used to reach the customers, any sites that accommodate visitors, because not all sites attracts the same customers. Some have got few traffic on them, and some has got a traffic congestion on them. The same way we could see with people's accounts, some have got more followers, whereas some have got very little followers. So we are going to be looking at brand identity. What is it that sets brands apart? What is it that would give you some characteristics and say, this is Matapelo? Is it only Matapelo by name, or is it only Matapelo by body, how vocal she is, all those attributes. So identity is not only a name. There are so many aspects to identity, the way someone walks, someone's family history or culture, someone even dating history, looking at the people that you have dated, Paul, we can actually have an identity of whom Paul is. Do you know that?
Yes, sir. But Mpo is not here, but yes, we get you.
Okay, so that's how you get an identity of someone through history, and sometimes even through future, through association and so forth. So previously looked at the long tail concept, and we discussed a lot of things there, the things that you would get from Abo My Friends, and how products can be associated together to gain popularity of those that are already popular. We also spoke about branding in the digital environment. We looked at many things that are happening in societies, like why is it called Kwadunusa instead of being called Kwakotama? And you guys, you defended that very strongly, like, no, you cannot kneel. There's no way you can kneel. You were very vocal about it, but I still believe it has to be called Kwakotama. So those examples can actually help us, to understand the long tail concept, to understand the popularity of products, to understand as well the unpopularity of products. We then spoke about branding, how some could defend the brands that they are loyal to based on their brand experiences. Then Matapelo was like, no way, there must be money in it. I cannot defend something if it is expensive. But according to my understanding, it was not just expensive in buying the product, but also expensive in maintaining the product, that when you stream or when you download app, everything has to be paid for. Is that so, Matapelo?
Yes, sir. That's the case.
So these are some of the things that would contribute to brand identity, something that we are going to be discussing in this lesson, in lesson 68. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the success factors for brand sites, and you should also be able to understand the concept of brand identity. So these are crucial because we see most of brands fail whenever they occupy in the digital space. You know, you go to their sites, there's no engagement, everything is just dull. What is it that they're not doing well in terms of their digital marketing strategies? We also see a lot of brands failing in terms of identity. You struggle to identify a product, you know, especially cars nowadays. When I come across cars on the road, I can't even identify whether this is a Havali or it's an Omodo. You know, these new terms that are appearing nowadays. It actually becomes difficult to identify the car, because most of these cars also, they look similar in terms of their body. You know, you can't differentiate between a Volvo this and a Haval that, or a Mazda that. So brand identity is very crucial, especially in the environment where there's so much copying and pasting, in the environment where there are counterfeit goods and so on. Yes, there's a hand up.
Say, I want to ask something when it comes to identity. You saying some we need identity is important when it comes to brand, right? For example, when your brand is well known on the social media and you guys your social media platform, you guys keep it updated, right? That's what you're saying, right? Say,
Mhm. Yes.
my question is, what if it's like you remember that drink? Is it Prime something like that? It was when it comes to digital and advertising and getting their identity, they were well known because they just came in second and everyone wanted to buy it. It was stock out at checkers and everything, but the quality didn't hold up to their
Mhm.
identity. Mean like it fell because of their identity. It goes back to BlackBerry. You know, we everybody wanted to have a BlackBerry back in my days. Like we would even in class, they would even say, "Oh, don't worry, I'll talk to you via BBM." You know, if you didn't have BBM, you feel left out at a second. You know, but now it fell. Like, does it mean that their identity also fell, or does it mean that they didn't keep up with the quality? What happened? Is it the identity or the quality when that happens?
You know, what you are highlighting is very, very crucial, and you are raising a good point, which comes in form of a question as well, because I wouldn't have remembered, I wouldn't have think about this if you didn't bring it up, Matapelo, honestly. So identity, of course, is also related to quality. You cannot separate quality from identity. You know, identity is also related to consistency. Consistency matters. So for us to know who Matapelo is, right? If you are a bubbly person, if we know Matapelo as a bubbly person, it means that you must be bubbly at all that time. You need to have that consistency in bubbling to an extent that whenever you are quiet, we just feel like, no, man, this is not Matapelo, or Matapelo is not feeling well. You know, so yes, you need to maintain consistency. You also need to make sure that you do not change your colors. So if you are Zem and Zem is known as blue, it means that you must be blue at all the times. The moment someone comes and says that that person is Zem and is green, it would be easy for us, your follower, to say that, you know what, we know Zem as blue. There is no way Zem can be green. So yes, consistency matters in the way you do things. At the end of the day, your signature, your style is related to your brand identity. I don't know if you answered on that question.
I am say I'm well answered. Thank you, sir. You can go
So,
on.
for example, if you are Apple and you are known for quality, and all of a sudden you do, that quality is missing, you know, you also lose identity. I always hear, especially our elders, you know, abogogo nabomkhulu, even some of your mothers, by the way, and your fathers, they'll be saying that the things that you are wearing nowadays, you know, it's diluting your cultural identity. Haven't you heard that, guys?
Yeah, I had from my grandmother though.
The opposite is called cultural erosion, that you are eroding your identity. The things that you are doing is now not in line with the culture, to an extent that we wouldn't know whether you are still Zulu or you are now Pedi or you are now Shangani and so on. So these things can be related. So if a brand all of a sudden is doing something else, especially when it is diversifying, like Discovery. We know Discovery as an insurance brand. Then all of a sudden it has got a bank, it has got SIM cards. It becomes difficult if their strategies are not well implemented. It becomes very difficult to tell that is it still Discovery or now it is a bank. Yes, Matapelo.
Yes, I wanted to ask something similar to that. Actually, I wanted to ask, when it comes to language, we end up having slang, and if you can, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so I'm saying, so when it comes to language, ne, some every if you have noticed very, or if you someone like me who like literally check the dictionary every year what new words they come in, we tend to change other words in our own language, even as Sutu people, Zulu, Xhosa in South Africa, we put slang to the word. Is that us diluting our culture, language, or is that us making it identity go lower? Or what's that? How do we call it? Because language is a brand also, right? Or am I
Yes,
wrong, sir?
yes, language is a component of brand identity, especially if you look at Nando's and the language that it uses, right? It's part of its
Yes, sir.
identity, honestly, because you can be able to tell whether you can be able to identify Nando's through its language, its tone, the kind of the words, the font that they use, if it's a written stuff. So yes, but I wouldn't say diluting, because brands also evolve the same with culture, with languages. You can see that the languages that we speak daily, they also evolve. So you are not diluting them, you are transforming them. But in that transformation, one must not lose his or her identity. In you speaking Sepedi and mixing it with Afrikaans like Danko, mixing it with other surrounding languages, you also need to be careful not to lose your identity as a result. So in that transformation, we should be able to tell that this is still Matapelo talking. And what you are highlighting is very important, because brands and their languages, their tone, their style, their logos, they are consistently changing. If you look at the Coca-Cola logo that is currently being used now and the Coca-Cola logo of 1940, they are different, but the changes will be slight because they do not want to lose that identity. Identity can be lost, especially when there are sudden massive changes. When brands say that they are rebranding, they use the word rebranding. All of a sudden, they've got a new logo. All of a sudden, they've got a new color and so on. And in rebranding, you need to make sure that it is well communicated so that the people surrounding you, your customers, know that you have rebranded. We also do this even in our life, in our social lives, whereby we say, I'm now a new Matapelo. All of a sudden, you put aside all your Brazilian and stuff like that, you go short hair. Or the other way around, you are no longer into short hair, you go Brazilian, and you're no longer wearing dresses, you're now wearing skirts. And people can actually be able to see you, to identify you, even after you have rebranded. Okay? So you need to make sure that whether it's transformation, whether it's rebranding, people can still find you in that. So brand identity, of course, contributes to brand advocacy, to brand equity and brand experience. So those are the terms that we are going to be unpacking as this lesson progresses. So we've got brand advocate, brand identity, brand equity, and brand experience. Which one, guys, would you say that it's a new term to you? You have heard those terms before, right? Or it's your first time hearing them? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, sir, we can. Like we can hear you, sir. Actually, every time we're kind of like reading. I don't know about us. We're kind of like checking if there's anything we're not sure about. But in my side, everything I'm sure.
Okay, all right, that's cool. Guys, since I'm using a phone version, I cannot see who is in and who is there, but I'm assuming that there's Zemzem. I'm assuming that there's Lindy because I can only see MT on my screen and I think it's Matapel.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, let
sir,
me tell
we're
you.
here.
There's Watura. There's Lindiwe. There's Zam. There's me.
Oh, yeah, I cannot see the other three, but somehow I can feel it in my soul that there's a Zemzem lingering. All right, guys,
Sir, I'm still listening. I'm still on listening.
okay. And guys, look at yourselves. Let's take it from primary school up to this level. Do you think you have rebranded? I'm asking everyone now. I want to hear all of you guys, your thoughts. Do you think your brand identity is still the same or you have rebranded? If you believe you have rebranded, how? Let's start with Zemzem.
Rebrand, sir. The
So
question is about rebrand.
do the same.
Does it have to be personal or it can be anything?
Anything, even if it's personal, if as long as you are comfortable discussing it or sharing it.
Okay, so before on my social media, I used to post about hair, and I had to rebrand and basically have like a trade, a signature, and then like sort of like a signature in my content. So I moved from hair content to now like travel content. So I literally had to rebrand. So the fonts that I use are like signature. The colors that I use are personalized to my audience. I no longer speak about hair. I don't just post about hair or like pictures pertaining hair. Now I just post about travel. So for me, that was like a rebrand.
Okay, and what motivated you that?
I saw that there's more opportunities in the travel space.
Okay, good. And do you feel like you lost your followers as a result of that, or they're actually liking travel compared to hair?
So my target audience immediately changed. So my target audience was people aged 18 to 35. So now it completely changed. More men are interested, and it's no longer 18 to 35. Now it's 25 to 45. So I did kind of lose my previous followers, but I did gain a new audience.
Which is male, because travel involves both genders, but hair can only for women to some extent. Okay, let's hear someone else. Watura, do you think you have rebranded or you are still the Watura that we know?
I'm still the Watura that everybody knows. I don't
Eh,
remember rebranding. I'm
Do you
still
think
the same.
people are never lost in identifying?
So to be honest, I don't think I ever created an identity on social media.
But I'm talking about you as an individual. Like, oh,
As Watura, right?
yes.
I don't like I change all the time, so I don't know.
Okay. All right, guys. Haven't come across it at home? For example, people saying that Watura, we can't recognize you anymore.
Oh, okay. So one thing that's actually part of my brand are my locks. Like if I cut my hair, everyone will be shocked because I have locks.
Okay. So you can easily be identified whenever you stop.
Yes,
Mm,
yes.
okay. All right. Let's move on to someone who else is in there? Matapelo.
See, I mean, I'm confused. I can hear. I heard what Zim said and Watura. But me, I'm confused between, is it re-identifying myself or is it growth? It's different, right? Or is it the same thing?
I want to hear it from you, then we are going to discuss generally. Whether it's
No,
growth. Mm-hmm.
for me, I don't think I re-identified myself. I think I growth, like age-wise. There's some things I cannot do at my age. They don't allow me. Even though society will say do whatever you want to do, but some things they don't allow me at a certain age. And the fact that I'm a mother now to a 10-year-old daughter, um. I feel like it's growth. With me, I feel like it's growth. It's not rebranding myself.
Okay. But have you been ever told that you have changed?
Yeah, but by toxic people, when you don't apply to their rules anymore, they will say, "Oh, you have changed."
It
Otherwise,
doesn't.
no.
If with brands, you come across toxic customers. Do you know that?
Yes, even people, I come across just because now I don't want to go out with you anymore. You like you told me you have changed. You don't drink anymore outside. You see, it's
Yes,
not that I have changed. It's both. Some things
this
don't
is
allow me to go out
part
every
of
weekend.
your
I'm
identity,
not
right?
16 anymore.
But drinking was part of your identity, right? That's how they could
I'm still
identify you. Isidakwa.
not that. No, I still drink. Sir, I still drink alcohol. It's just that I can't go out to drink out every weekend. That's something we can't do. We used to do it when we were 16 because we were eating parents' money. So now growth is parents are no longer giving you that money because you're old. So now I can't be showering my money every weekend with alcohol. I'm not saying I don't drink anymore. I do. Even now, you are very welcome to buy me six when I pass.
All right. So if your or your man, if your father or man saying that Watura Matapelo you have changed, would they be toxic?
It depends what point they have when they say I have changed. You know, it
Okay.
depends. When it comes to my dad, he used to say I have changed by the way I speak, but I didn't see it as change, but I see it as growth because now I can't come to you and ask you money anymore or beg for money anymore to you. I have to allow you to give it to me. It's not change, it's growth.
Mm. Okay. Who else is in there? Watura has said something. Zem Matapelo. Is there anyone else?
Lindiwe.
Yes, Lindiwe. Udume ngani? What's related to your identity?
I thought you were going to pass me.
Yeah, the thing I cannot see who is there because I'm using a mobile phone.
It's okay, sir. I don't know. So I'd also agree with Matapelo that I would say it's growth, because definitely I feel a lot of things have changed in my life personally. So I can't say I would not. I have not changed or rebranded, or I'm the same Linda that is before. Like a lot of things personally that I will not mention have changed in my life. So of course that you change and you become someone else, I guess. Well, for me, I think with what I'm experiencing in my life, I don't think they will ever experience that Lindy way that they know, even
Okay.
to people that know me to
Several
now, I guess.
times. Lindiwe,
Yes, sir.
have you been told several times that we can't recognize you anymore? You have changed.
Yes, sir.
Mm.
A lot
Okay.
of
Also toxic people.
all of, sir. All of.
You guys don't want to be told the truth. When people tell you the truth,
That's
now
not the truth. It's toxic. It's not truth to say.
So
okay,
especially if your ex is trying to get back with you, he'll be like, but you've
I do it.
changed. You're
Them,
not the same as before. Eh,
I agree with you, Zem. I agree with you, Zem.
them, would they be lying though if they say that you are not the same anymore?
it's a tactic. Some people, I just feel like they're not used to seeing people grow or you having a different perception. Or if they can't get to you, like it seems unfamiliar, obviously you'll say a person changed.
Mm. Okay.
Mm.
Who else, guys, that I didn't hear from? Is Mpo there?
Nope,
Uprimon?
sir. You've got everybody.
Okay, all right, perfect. Now we can move on. So yes, guys, you have mentioned something very interesting, that growth. So where does brand identity fall in when the brand is growing? Because growth can also influence brand identity in terms of appearance and in terms of deeds. Okay. So appearance, for example, when I was a teenager, I did not have inchebe, right? I did not have beards. And all of a sudden now I'm a grown-up man, I've got beard. So how does that affects my identity in terms of physical appearance? Then another growth is that when I was a boy, I was so used to insults, being childish, but with time I've matured, and all of a sudden I'm acting as an adult. Where does that leave my identity? So these are the things that we need to discuss as this lesson progresses. Then there's also something that came up with Matapelo when she mentioned a drink product. Guys, there's a difference between a buzz and a trend. So some products can be a buzz that can be identified within a specific period of a time, and all of a sudden it fades. Okay. I see that with Amapiano music. You know, most of these contemporary songs, Amapiano, they are a buzz. You can easily identify them now. All of a sudden they are out of fashion. All of a sudden they are redundant. They no longer matter anymore. Then there are these what I would call legendary songs that no matter what, they're always there. Think of Amaso Brothers, you know. Think about Black Mambazo. Their songs are always there. But if you think about Amapiano, at some point in time, we used to go crazy when we hear the song Abafana Ma Uber, you know, hey, ama Uber this, ama Uber that. Within that year, the song has disappeared, you know. Then there's a song that is trending. Haikokota piano, wadlali piano. All of a sudden it's gone. So it's a buzz. It can be easily identified there, you know, but as the market, you know, as the environment changes, the identity gets lost. I don't know if I'm making any sense, guys. It's not like I'm attacking Amapiano songs. I'm just saying that some songs never fade. Think about songs by Hugh Masekela, you know, these legendary people. Their songs are always there. Is it something, guys, that we can resonate with?
Sir, can you please repeat?
I also didn't hear it was breaking down. What did she say, sir?
I was talking about a buzz in terms of identity, like something that trends for a period, for a while, then all of a sudden it's no longer there. Like the drink that you mentioned, Matapelo, saying that it was there and everyone wanted to get it, and all of a sudden it's no longer there. So I was saying that there are also Amapiano songs that could trend for a specific period, you know, like, you know, Abafana Uba, you know, those songs like I Kokota Piano. Then all of a sudden they are no longer there, like their identity have been lost compared to legendary songs like Soul Brothers, Yuma Sekela, and so on. Is it something that you can relate with? That you can relate to?
Yes, you see those, especially the ones that they would dance to. You see, there was this song. Let me tell you, there was this song called Gezele Kishin, something like that. I know my daughter used to love that song.
Mm.
Now, sir, it's nowhere to be found. Even if you go to clubs, they don't play it anymore. They can play old
Yeah.
songs. That one you won't hear it.
So that's a buzz, and identity also affect a buzz. Guys, have you at some point been a brand advocate? I'm not asking Matapelo because she said she will never be an advocate for a brand.
So but we are advocate for price, not brand. I told you.
Oh, okay. I thought you said a brand. Okay. So
When it
guys,
comes to price,
you're saying something,
I'll,
Matapelo?
I'm saying when it comes to price, I'll talk for a brand. But when it comes to no price, say, let me tell you something. There are brands, ne? For example, a lot of people use iPhone. What do I use iPhone? Lindy, I don't know about Lindy or anything, but what do I know? What do I use iPhone because I saw her. So when you talk about iPhone, people will be like, "Oh, iPhone is this. Oh, you cannot defend iPhone." But if you look at Samsung, and no, Samsung is even understatement. Have you seen Oppa? The pictures, the quality, the speed, the everything. But no, iPhone people want to have that crown. They don't want to give it to other people. So you see, that's my problem. It's not. I'm saying it's not about that. For them, they're talking for price. For example, when someone wears expensive clothes, you'll be like, oh, that person is wearing so dope, and that it's not dope. It's not nice. It's just that she's wearing a Gucci and maybe a LV jean, but the outfit might be so ugly that I can go to Pep or to Nosa and buy an outfit at cheapest point, and it will be so nice. That's what I'm saying. For me, it's price, not brand.
Okay, I hear you. So what do you say about those people? There was a culture about people carrying car keys and their identity.
No, those ones I really don't know. I don't know. Say wait. Why are you carrying the keys? You wanna show everyone? And let me tell you something. If you come to Mamelodi to the mall and you carry keys, you're just electing the hijackers that you have a car. They'll now start following you.
But you get what I'm trying to say, guys. We see people, especially at church or elsewhere, they'll be carrying car keys as if they don't have pockets. Have you come across that kind of a fad?
Yes, sir, especially if it's a BMW or like a nice car, like a Mercedes.
Wow. Okay. And I'm sure Mercedes keys and BMW, they have got that logo thing that I want people to see.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
How have you influenced others to make them aware of the Boston brand, or at least make them try the brand? Have you guys ever referred others to Boston or talk good about Boston? That there's an intelligent lecturer, a digital marketing lecturer. Did you hear my question, guys, or you want me to repeat?
Yes, sir. I've once referred a friend saying, "Yo, Boston is so nice because we don't write exams," but I wasn't promoting it.
Okay, all right, good. Let's hear others. Matapelo, Watura, and Lindiwe. Hi, you guys. It means I'm boring. Have you ever not talked about?
No, sir. No, sir, I haven't.
I'm part of Boston.
I will say yes. I may speak about different people. Go tell okay, this class was enjoyable because this is this. But Boston, going out of my way to be talking about it and promoting it, I am sorry. Give me zero, teacher.
Okay, because with my last year class, I think almost like 4 or 5 students, their families knew about me, or maybe it's because they were attending. Like right now, you guys with your devices, maybe the class was on loudspeaker or what. And I actually have a part-time student. Her mother was actually attending the class because of my lessons. Imagine, she just felt as if she has also registered for the digital marketing course. Anyway,
Who said,
pardon?
who are you talking about?
Matapelo, that lady, there's a lady who came in our class mistakenly and said that this is the best lecturer, guys. You must appreciate him.
Yes, I remember. Yes.
Her mother also used to attend our class, and she could laugh, especially whenever I use Mjolo thing. And I really know at first, until I heard her giggling towards the end of the semester. So it means that the whole first semester, there was an adult and I'm busy using silly jokes, not knowing. But she said she joked classes a lot.
You were busted.
Imagine, guys, you are talking about Kwatunusa, then your mother is in there. No, man. Guys, put earphones, put headphones there. Anyway, success factors for brand sites. A brand website is one of 5 classes of website or parts of sites which support different organizational goals. Digital platforms like transactional sites such as Takealot, relationship building sites such as your Coca-Cola or Dell, portals such as Hippo, and social media platforms also seek to provide favorable brand experience. So in your posting, guys, in your content, it must be able to have some element of brand experience. Zem, in your travel content, it must be able to have a brand experience. People must not only fall in love with the images that are seeing about you being in Sandton, you being in Paris, you being in Cape Town, you being in Dubai. They must also feel you, the brand behind that travel experience, the brand behind the images. They have to connect with you at an intimate level to an extent that even if you post something that does not resonate with them, they can still love it because it has been posted by Zem. I don't know, am I making any sense, guys?
Yes, it makes sense. But sir, how would you do that?
It does make sense.
So what I'm trying to say is that branding is beyond the product. It's not about iPhone 15. It is about Apple. So that even if there's iPhone 16, iPhone 17, iPhone 20 tomorrow, people can still stand by Apple. Zem, you're asking me, how do I do that? Now you want me to teach you how to do your branding. You go and make money through your travel thing and you don't give me a share. Is that fair?
Sir, you'll get something in return.
You don't look at someone who is kind to me, Zem.
I'm not kind, sir. You're sir, and I see you as my mentor, So if you were to give me these tips, I'd speak highly of you.
Now you are blackmailing me. Zem. Iyaphuma sibili imali lapho. Iphume sibili pha.
Yeah, sir. Don't worry, sir.
Okay. Relax. This class is going to help you a lot, and I'm going to help you. But what I'm trying to say, guys, your bio as a brand, who you are, what you stand for, your style. Matapelo mentioned language before. Your language, your tone must always say something before you post that travel content, Zem. So that's how you do it. Have a unique signature. What do I mean? For example, when you post an experience, let's say you're in Dubai, the paragraphing of that experience must similarly be the same with the paragraphing of the content that you posted before about Cape Town. So that way we can see that, no, man, this is Zem's language. This is a signature. People always talk about signature, but I don't think people understand what a digital signature is. It's everything. The font size, the style, the paragraphing, the language, the slang, Yourself, you must be able, whenever you post travel content, you need to look at the previous content first. you know. Don't just go to ChatGPT or just come up with something that is completely new. Come up with something that is new, but is the same with the previous content. Nando's does that very well. Their theme is the same, but their adverts are never the same. Do you know that, guys? So here, the theme is the one that is going to maintain your identity. Developers of brand sites and managers of sites need to carefully think of the best way the brand can engage with consumers, given lack of content naturally associated with low involvement product. It can be argued that it is not the quantity of visitors that is important. Rather, it is about the quality of visitors. Since brand sites are most likely to attract brand advocates who can be important in influencing others to make them aware of the brand or try the brand. Therefore, it is important that brand sites provide a huge home for the brand loyalists and advocates. I think that statement is very rich in its own. I'll give you an example, guys, and I want you to answer me carefully there. So let's say there are two brands. There is a Matapelo brand, which is on Facebook, and there is a Lindiwe brand, which is also on Facebook. Matapelo sells drinking products as well as Lindiwe, who is also selling drinking products. Matapelo has got 500,000 followers on her Facebook page, and Lindiwe has got only 50 followers on her Facebook page. Okay? Lindiwe, every month he's getting sales, like people are actually buying from that Facebook page. Out of her 50 followers, 46 of them are making purchases almost every day via her Facebook account. While it's Matapelo on her Facebook page, 5,000 out of 500,000 are downloading content but are not buying the drinks. Who is making money? Who is finding value in digital brand experience?
Yo, sir, I'm already confused.
Is it about the numbers or?
It is about the transactions. It's about who is buying. So what the statement is trying to say is that some people are having millions of followers is good, but if those followers are not buying you, then it is not good, because it is about the quality of transactions, not the number of people following you. It is the same people having people admiring you, but no one is asking you out. Comparing to someone who is never admired, but she's always in a relationship. Have you often come across that, guys, in societies?
Yes, sir.
No one is always admiring you, but you are always with connections. Okay. The importance of achieving customer engagement must be stressed in order to encourage participation or co-creation of content. For example, brands can encourage users to share and submit their comment stories, photos, or videos. Once engaged in this way, visitors are more likely to return to a site to see others' comments. Zem.
Yes, sir.
So let's go back to your travel experience, since you want me to help you. So you post a lot of travel content on your sites. what this theory is saying is that you are the only one who is creating the content on your site. For better engagement and brand experience, you also need to allow your audience to create their own content. I'll give you an example how. So once you share a travel experience with Kruger National Park, or the Drakensberg Mountains, you post a good quality image there showing the experience. Then you put a tag there, like, guys, submit your travel experience on your comments, use hashtag Krugerstop. You get what I mean? You'd realize that the engagement with that travel page will be much higher, than you only posting your content. I don't know if I'm making any sense, Zemzem.
Yes, sir, it makes sense.
I've actually seen this Congolese guy. He's a Rumba artist. He's from DRC. So he produced a song. And after producing that song, he then created a dance, and he said that people from different countries can share their dance moves, dancing to that song, and put a flag of their country. So all of a sudden, people are participating, trying to show how good as a South African we are. Then someone will share a dance, trying to show how good as Botswana people we are. So you have got people are expressing their pride in putting their flag and dancing, not knowing that they are driving the virality of that song. So all of a sudden, the song is now trending, but it is not trending on its own. It's now being co-created by users who are dancing different styles to that song, promoting themselves. So it creates a sense of belonging, and now you've got brand loyalists and brand advocates. So you need to try that as well. Empower people to do what you are doing. You are just a facilitator. You are just igniting people and their feelings. You realize that many people will be coming to your site because you are empowering them and you are enabling them to share their travel experience. But on top of that, you will be the one who decides whether this can go up or this cannot go up. So you'll be on top of game, and you will get more followers and more engagement as a result of that. Are there any questions so far, guys?
No, sir. Now I understand it. The reason why I'm quiet is because I wanted to understand it, sir. Now I clearly understand it.
You are being quiet because you are trying to digest. You don't want to be disturbed in your digestion.
Yes, sir. I want to understand. When I talk, I'll forget what you were saying. So now I was concentrating and getting to know exactly what you're saying and understanding it the way you're saying it, unlike interpreting English. But yes, sir, you get what I'm saying.
Some of us, if we're to run social media accounts, it's not like we can't, eh? I know people always come to me like, say, how come you don't have an Instagram account and have 1 million viewers so that you can make money out of it? I've heard many people asking me that. How come can't you, since you have got so much theories, how come can't you have a YouTube account? You can actually make more money from a YouTube account. You see? But remember, guys,
I'm even thinking of creating an account now.
Also, have like a digital marketing agency where you share all these tips. You'll see how many people and businesses will inquire.
Yeah, you must have one, sir. Because I'm also thinking I'm gonna create TikTok. Because I feel like my life needs to be a TikTok life. Anyway.
Trust me, guys, I've got some houses where I get money from just advising people, though it's very, very small scale. Is people in my surroundings. For example, I can have my homie who is doing business, and I'll tell you, okay, let me manage your social media account and actually give them good, like in digital marketing, guys, we talk about results. I cannot just say this is going to work. It actually has to work. And all of a sudden, as a token, be like, oh, dude, give me your bank account. Here's 5,000 in your account. Things like that. Though they are rare because I'm not doing that on commercial level. I don't know if I make any sense, guys.
You do, sir.
Of course, these things, the problems are they require time and commitment, And at the moment, the only time I can give is in lecturing at Boston. And I wouldn't want to have a social media account and dedicate all my time to it, considering that I've got many commitments, a father, a son, and all this stuff that I'm doing, studies. I cannot, honestly speaking, as it is right now, I cannot run in a personal blog and make money out of it. Otherwise, I won't have my life. All my life will be dedicated to that.
But sir, you said you're committed to digital marketing.
Yes, theory never disappoints. With practice, it's always, it's not always the same. Like you don't make money at all the times. Content engages different. You post something today, everyone loves it. You post something tomorrow, no one loves it. So there's no consistency. But in lecturing, I know that every year you're going to have a student who's going to register no matter what. So it depends, Zemzem. Maybe in future I'm going to join you here, and I'll be your competitor. Then you hate me for that.
Sir, you should be my advisor, not my competitor.
When imali ayiphumi kuwe wena.
Iyaphuma.
Okay, we'll see. Anyway, guys, let's look at brand identity. Remember at the beginning, I asked you guys, how have you been when you're in primary up to now? And most of you guys saying that you haven't changed much. It was just growth. You grew, you matured. Then people like them, they were like, no, I rebranded. I just left from here. Then all of a sudden, I'm focusing on this. So now we are going to be looking at brand identity. Brand identity is the totality of brand associations, including name and symbols that must be communicated. So as you can see, when they say it's the totality, it means all aspects that are affiliated with the brand. All aspects. That's why I'm saying the totality. The logo, the products, the symbols, the people, the cars. For example, if you are a Pick and Pay and you say you are always clean, then I come across a Pick and Pay truck that is dirty. It says a lot about your identity as a brand. So everything that you're associated with, that's what we call a brand identity. Eka and Joachim Stoller emphasized the importance of developing a plan to communicate the key features of brand identity and increase brand awareness. So, brand identity is again more than just the name. Brand identity is more than just saying my name is Zem Semyara. Brand identity is more than saying that I'm a yellow born. Brand identity is more than saying that I'm a dark chocolate. It is denser. And there are two rules that apply to naming online brands. The first is law of the common name. And these can be contradicting, okay? They say the kiss of death for an internal brand name. So the law of the common name. You'd hear many people coming up with the names that are even complicated to pronounce. And if you've got a name that is so complicated to pronounce, it becomes very difficult to identify your brand, okay? And if your name is too common, like Candy Shop, Candy Pop, it also becomes very difficult to identify because there are so many with that name, okay? But if you come up with a name like Humphrey, don't touch me. What's the name of Humphrey on WhatsApp, guys?
Isn't it? Do not check up on me.
Yes, do not check up on me. If you come up with that name, it can be Unique, but it can also mean anything. I'm just saying, that I'm criticizing Islam. So, identity starts with naming. Identity, guys, starts with naming. That's why whenever a child is born, the first way to identify this child is to name the baby and make sure that that name is appearing on all the official documentation, such as a birth certificate, such as a passport, and so on. That's why we even call an ID an identity number. That's how we are going to identify Matapelo, through an ID document where there's a picture and there's an ID number. Brands must also be identified firstly through their name. If the name is complicated, it means that the identification is also going to be complicated. Like this Chinese phone, Xiaomi. How do you pronounce it, guys? Do you know the phone that I'm talking about?
No, sir. What phone is that?
It starts with X, Xiaomo, Xiaomi.
I don't even know how to pronounce that. The only thing I'm still struggling to pronounce, I'm not sure if it's Hawaii. Hawaii. You see, sir, that one is very
Huawei.
much difficult.
Some will say Huawei, some will say Huawei. You see?
You get what I'm saying? I'm still struggling with that one. I don't even know the other one.
So in identity, you need to know that. Then there's also the law of the proper name. They say your name stands alone on the internet. Did you hear that, guys? Your name stands alone on the internet.
That's
You
true. Have you? I have Googled myself. I don't know about you guys, but me, I have Googled myself.
and all of a sudden you've got 20 Matapelos.
And all of the sudden, say I can see that Jojo. Some of us are very ugly in my name.
Yeah, it's always good, guys, to find out how easily identifiable are you. And brands do that. We are going to, in the next semester, we are going to talk about things like search engine optimization, like how brands are easily identifiable. For example, if I were to search you Zemzem, or if I were to search you Matapelo, or Lindiwe, or Watura, right now, I go search you. Will I be able to easily find you digitally on the internet?
So if you search my name and my surname, the first thing that will come up is my LinkedIn profile. But if you search me through my social media names, then either TikTok will come first. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but how would I then know your private things when I know you're Zemzem?
So who said nobody calls me Zam Zam? It's you, sir. But if you call me, if you search me by my name and my surname, like
What
a
I'm trying
LinkedIn
to say,
profile will pop up.
yes, I get you, because LinkedIn has got your official name, right? What I'm trying to say, that if I'm searching your brand, your travel thing on Google, how easy am I be able to locate it? Because that's what you want, right? You want people to easily find you, isn't it so?
Yes, sir. Let me see if it will
Try,
come up through my social media names.
yeah, try to do that. It helps you a lot, because it also tells you how easily you can be found and how hard you can be found. This is also, guys, even in your personal lives, sometimes you can be complaining. You hear Lindy were complaining too much. Hey, Abang Shirley. Hey, boys hate me. But she's always in the house. Lindy, you're always locking yourself in the house. Then you say about shit.
So why are you putting me in this? Why an example, Molindi? Because
Yeah, can I ask
So,
something? Sorry, Lindu and Zim. Can I ask something when it comes to the Zem thing, where she needs to search herself and everything? Is putting a brand under your name a good thing? Because, for example, when you go to Facebook, you can find a lot of Matapelo today, like the same name, same name. A lot of them.
Yes, I've got people that I know, they put their name under their brand because remember, it is also needed for a portfolio. How are we going to know that it's your portfolio? I've got this guy who is an MC. He does much MC job. I even hired him to be an MC at my wedding, you know. So he has got his brand name, which is very far from his name. It's called Umuntu Omkhulu, MC or whatever, but Umuntu Omkhulu is a big man. So that's what his brand name is, even when he's an MC. So that's not his official like full name. He calls himself Umuntu Omkhulu in terms of MCing service. But what he has done, even on his personal Facebook account, he called his first and his official names, and then in bracket he also put Umuntu Omkhulu. So if you are searching Umuntu for Umuntu Omkhulu, two of them are going to appear. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
You are, sir. You are. You are. No, I was asking based on the fact that sometimes people don't put a brand. Like for example, I don't have a clothing name line. That one has Umuntu Omkhulu already. There's something. I mean, like for someone, what if he didn't have Umuntu Omkhulu and only have Joseph Masangu?
Yeah,
And there are so many Joseph Masangu.
Sometimes it's also tricky because people want to protect themselves from social media, you know. You want people to know my brand name, but you don't want people to know my personal name for security reasons, for example. So it depends on people's strategies as well. Let's go back to Lindiwe. Lindiwe, Ubusitini, what do you say?
About what?
You said, why am I targeting you about Ukushelwa?
Yes, like Ebo Sana.
That's the name just only came close, honestly speaking. It wasn't intentional. I hope you are not offended, eh?
So I'm not. I'm just saying, like, remember you said that there was a mother in the class. What if I also have other people in the class right now?
Yo, I'm going to zip my mouth now. All right, guys. So the law of a proper name, you need to have a proper name. I think I gave you an example, guys, of having a child called Bill while your surname is Tom. You can never call your child Bill. When your surname is Chinese, you are Tom. Otherwise, when other kids are calling him with a surname, they are going to call him what? Bill Tom.
Hey, sir, that joke, it was not funny.
Okay. So the characteristics of you saying something? Zem?
No, sir, I was just saying that the joke that you made, it was not funny.
Yeah, but you come across those things. For example, you know, you have someone called Dixon. What's going to be the shortcut from that name? Zem?
Sir, I don't know.
I know you know. So things like that, you know, there are some unintended consequences in naming. That's what I'm trying to say. So the characteristics of the word chosen to represent a brand can influence consumer behavior and can be linked to the propensity with which a buyer will engage with a brand. Therefore, in order to increase the likelihood that a consumer will engage with a new brand, it should be easy to pronounce, have interesting arrangements of syllables and consonants so as to make the name easy to recall, but should not be too similar to other words, thereby causing confusion with the brand names. In essence, good brand names are those which are easy to remember, easy to pronounce, but also have the potential to catch the attention of customers. Any questions, guys, on brand identity? But is it something
Nothing
that,
from my side.
okay, is it something, guys, that you can resonate with? All the things that we have discussed so far, are they very useful?
They are useful because
Yes,
they just
sir.
motivated me to start a TikTok account and brand
Yes,
myself.
I'm actually impressed that Matapelo is actually considering creating an account as a result of this. Remember, there are some people who are struggling online because they don't have exposure to these kind of information. Some are thriving because they're just like, we are born differently. But some, if they had exposure to this kind of information, they could actually be doing greater on social media platforms, even brands themselves. Okay. So this lesson should have helped you to develop a greater awareness of digital marketing by understanding the success factors for brand sites and brand identity. You should be able by now to apply the elements of the marketing mix in a digital context and evaluate the opportunities that the internet, digital media, and technology make available for varying the mix. Okay, guys, if there are no lesson, we are going, as usual, we are going to do a case study on Thursday. So we'll be looking at case study application, applying the long tail concept, branding in the digital environment, brand identity, and the success factors for a brand site. So that's what we are going to be doing on Thursday. Are there any questions, any comments?
No, sir.
No, sir. No. Oh, yes, sir, I have a question. Sorry. Can I ask, sir?
Yes.
Remember the job that you posted, ne? Me and Kamu were wondering because we were struggling to get our last year result from the office. Because remember they say we must do satisfy certificate, copy of a satisfy ID photo and your certificate. So now we were looking for our result. So did she say like when is the closing date? Because I'm still waiting for the email for my last year result in because last year I saw my result, but in the call campus app. And now I'm asking them to email to me to show that I'm in a like really in an institution. But they haven't got back to me. Tabang said he was gonna send it today, but he hasn't sent it. So